Hi, my name is Pietari Posti and I'm an illustrator. Let's look at fundamentals of a good composition and how you can incorporate them into your illustrations. Balance first. Balance refers to the way we organize the elements to create harmony and equilibrium in your illustrations. All the elements in your illustration have a visual weight. So let's look at some samples. As you can see here, the big bird, it's heavier visually than the small bird. The illustration is not balanced right now. What can we do to improve it? We can move the big bird closer to the center point. And as you can see, it's already much more balanced. And another way that we could counterbalance it is to duplicate the smaller bird. Another technique that we could use is to use some negative space, like this. You can create empty space below the smaller bird, which counterbalances the big bird. You can create another layer here. We formed a triangle here and here. At the same time, you have triangles here. We created some equilibrium in our illustration. Now that you have learned about balance and negative space, let's talk about focal points. In this portrait of the woman I've drawn here, you can see that your eyes are naturally drawn into the eyes of the woman. Focal points are the area of the composition where the viewer's eyes are naturally drawn into. You can't force the viewer to look at things, but you can always guide him. If you would send the woman further away, like this, having a bigger element next to the woman, you still notice that your eyes are naturally drawn to the woman's eyes before looking at the other elements. Naturally, humans tend to search for human faces in picture. Let's see. It doesn't matter how beautiful the scenery is. We can add nice palm trees here, and the first thing you still look at is the woman's face. And we can add a beautiful dolphin jumping against the sunset, and you are still searching for the woman's face. Another way that you can create focal point is using lines. Like in this example, I have drawn these lines of the road and these lines of the cloud that directly point to the small figure in the horizon. Although the woman is small, your eyes are naturally drawn into the woman because of the lines pointing to the figure. Another way that you can create a focal point is by isolating elements. Like in this illustration, you can see one of the birds separated of the group. And when you look at the picture, you can see that your eyes are drawn automatically to the small bird in the corner. Now that you have learned different ways to create focal points, let's talk about one of the most important principles of design, which is the rule of thirds. Is basically a simplification of a famous mathematical theory called golden rule. You divide the image into 9 equal parts, like this, using 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines. The basic idea is that you place important elements in the cross sections or to the lines of the golden rule. Like here, for example, we have the woman character on the right side and the horizon and the below part. And then we have the sun placed to the left side where the lines are crossing. In this version, I'm not using the guidelines. Doesn't look really balanced. And the version that I'm using the guidelines, it looks much better. Rule of thirds is a great segue to the next thing I want to talk about, which is odd numbers, and especially the number 3. Pairs of things are easily dull-looking, and the basic idea is that third element brings some nice tension to the image. I will show you some examples now. Let's look at the kind of a classic example, flowers in a vase. So you can see here we have one flower, which looks quite okay. But if we add another flower, it looks a little bit off. The balance is not quite right. But then if we add a third flower, it looks much more interesting and balanced. If we go on, 5 looks better than 6, 9 looks better than 8, and so on. And also what we can do, we can play with the sizes to make it much more interesting. Like this, for example. You already have a nicer image with some tension between the flowers and the composition. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel. If you want to learn more about me and my process, check out my course on Domestika.